Geeks, check out our sponsor and one of my favorite new spots to get my toy fix, TF Basement. With great prices and lots of choices, my wallet is in big trouble. Make sure to visit their website, Instagram, and TikTok pages to stay up with the latest action figure arrivals like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends, and more. Also, use the code GeekHangover in all caps to get 5% off your entire purchase. Links are in the description. That's TF Basement. Make sure to check them out.
Honey, I'm Homelander. What's poppin', geeks? We're here with the NECA Ultimate Action Figure Homelander. So Walmart had first dibs on these guys. Homelander and Starlight hit, I think, about a month ago around Father's Day. Starting to hit other places now. I heard they were hitting Targets about 3 weeks ago, but I did not see one until this week. I got this about 2 or 3 days ago. So I'm glad I got it. People have been complaining about the face sculpt. It looks wonky. I'm going to see what I think about it. I was looking at, I think it was... who was it? Was it not 112 Collective? Mafex? Somebody was bringing out a line of the boys' action figures, and of course they're imports, so they're around $90. And I was looking at those and really leaning, but if this one's good enough, I'm going to stick with my little $25, $30 Homelander. All right, let's crack him open, see what he's talking about. Let's look at the box. So I own a bunch of the Back to the Future NECA figures, and I haven't opened them yet. And I also have, I forgot what the monster was called from that Guillermo del Toro movie. This is the first NECA action picture I'm actually opening up, so this is going to be my first time putting my fingers on these things and seeing what they're talking about. So I have no idea what to expect about the articulation or anything. I don't watch other people's NECA reviews because I really was never interested in a lot of their lines. So Back to the Future was the first one that got me, and now the boys. So we're all going to experience this together. So you see in the box, you've got Homelander, you've got his eye blast effects, and you have his 2 extra head sculpts. And I can tell already right now, oddly enough, the head sculpts in the box don't look like the ones that are used in the promo art on the box. Right here, this looks more like Homelander to me, or maybe it's because the eye blaster there kind of blocking it off than any of these, except maybe that one. But we'll see when we crack them open. Alright, so it does come with a nice insert that you can use for photos. It is not blemished. McFarlane, pay attention. And there he is in his cage. As we said before, we got the blast effects, 2 extra heads, and I didn't see those hands down there before, so we do have some fists that we can deal with. And what's Homelander without some fists? I wish they'd put some blood on him. No spoilers. Alright, so nice surprise in the booty shot. Didn't realize that the cape was made of soft goods. That's a big plus. A lot of Marvel Legends lately have been getting on my nerves because the capes and cloaks are so hard that you can't pose a figure, and I've been praying that they would start following the Black Series line and use soft good capes, but they haven't done it yet. But Homelander from NECA, yep, he's got the goods. Alright, so here's Homelander in all his glory. We got the soft good capes going on. Let's take a moment to bask in his glory, like the great Keith Lee. Alright, so there is the first extra head. And I see what people are talking about. They're suspect. He looks like Homelander, but he doesn't look like Homelander. He kind of looks like he's chewing cake. Likeness might be a little bit closer from the side. It's passable. Maybe. Now this head is a missed opportunity. This is the head that you put the blasters in. See, the eyes have holes in them. He shouldn't have that look on his face. He should have that angry, crazy look from the show. And this head looks more like the actual actor for Homelander than the other one does. but it's going to be obscured basically by the eye blast. Yeah, he just doesn't look like he's shooting heat blast at anybody. And there you have the alternate fists. And you have the eye blast effects. So while I see what people are complaining about online, I don't think he's so bad and so far off that you could say, screw it. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not getting that. But I think as Homelander goes, he's worth it, because when you put him up on the shelf and you're not close up to him, you really can't look at him and say, oh, he doesn't look like Homelander. Because even now, he's far away from my camera, you're still not even going to be that close up when he's on the shelf. Alright, so the uniform looks really good. This gold here has a black undertone to it, almost like copper, and it looks like real metal, so it's a really good paint job. The chainmail on his outfit, really detailed, actually quite impeccable. And on his collar, you see that they really went through the trouble of putting the little details there. You see the little gold circles going around on the red. Paint job looks good. All the way down. Now the boots look good as well. He's got those metal painted gold eagles on there. And you can see that there's gold trim along the edges of the boots. It's a nice touch there. And the boots have a little wash on them, a little weathered, so it's not just straight up paint. So I'm understanding why the NECA figures are costing a little bit more than the Marvel Legends and the DC Multiverse, because they're putting in some good details there. Now, what I am noticing here is NECA does some different stuff with the body. So in an attempt to not show you a bunch of hinges, see there are pinless joints here, or there might be pins hidden in the bicep. You can see that the bicep comes out over the elbow here. So in an attempt to hide that, it looks a little wonky to me, because right here at the elbow it's thin and it goes into the bicep. And it's not bad or anything to really turn you off from the figure. And I guess it's preferable if you don't want to see the pins, but just the way that the bicep overhangs over the lower part of the arm looks kind of funny to me. Now going down to the legs, I don't know what it is, but here, like, this area, his groin area, looks really big. Like, here's his chest, it just looks disproportionate. It's like he's wearing adult diapers, and then he put chainmail over it. And then the legs, because of that same attempt to hide the pin, they look kind of stumpy. Like, you don't really see knees per se. And look at the side. You have your calves here, and then you have your thighs, but the knee area goes into them. It almost looks like he's wearing boots here, but he's not. That's pretty ugly to me. And I appreciate them trying something different to hide the pins, but this really doesn't look good from the side. I mean, they would have to make this part thicker here, or at least curve this in or do something. And you're gonna see the joints here anyway, and I guess it's the back, but I don't think it's worth the trade-off here for it to try and give us the pinless look, but then have the leg look like he had a skin graft or something. He's missing flesh. So the bottom half of him just looks weird. Not a big fan of that. It looks like his legs are too short. Alright, so articulation. Don't know what to expect. Got 360 here. Looks like that neck is on a peg. Let me see. That pops up. Oh. That's interesting. So you got a ball and pin here, but this neck piece here does move. And I was going to say he doesn't have any abdominal articulation, but I think it might be hidden on here because I can feel... I was going to say he doesn't have any articulation here in the ab area, but you can feel, you can press here. There's something going on under there. Could be wrong. Okay, so I might be right. I don't know what that's about. There seems like a skeleton under here. You can squeeze the material in, but I don't know what it's there for because there doesn't seem to be any articulation here at the mid-torso. Alright, so back to the head. Great tilt. I'll give kudos there. Looking down. Decent range. Much better range looking up. Looking at him here, he looks much more like the commander from Sky High. I think it was Kurt Russell. Anyway, arms get up shoulder height. It's as far in as far back as they go. You don't get a lot of range going backwards. Hug time. He actually looks good like this. It's a good pose. 360 here at the shoulder. That elbow socket thingy, do get a 360 there. And, oh, there's an advantage. You get a 360 here at the forearm. So it's not all loss. You get posability where you give up the looks. And wrist, 360. Pulsar blast, hold my hand, kiss the ring. That unique elbow joint does give you a little bit better than 90 degrees, but I expected more. Why did I expect more? I don't know. Curious enough, I didn't realize before. So you have this unique elbow joint, but that sacrifices the bicep swivel. I don't know if that's worth it. Alright, let's try this abdomen again. I still don't understand why you can feel stuff going on under here, but nothing's happening. I'm just thinking maybe. Huh? Well, nothing goes on in there. That's really weird. So you do have a 360 waist swivel, but it gets really ugly with the belt in the back. And he does lean. He does rock. Leans forward a little bit. Leans back a little bit more. Get a really good split. And I do like the way the legs go up into the thigh joint so they're covered. Seen a few McFarlane figures do that as well. Do get a little bit of bend from the thigh joints. Can he can? I'll go ahead and say yes, he can. Even though he's not going to be the lead kicker. That knee, I don't know what to call it, a tri-joint or whatever. Don't get a lot of range out of it. He doesn't even get close to kicking his butt. If you push really hard, you can almost make contact. It feels like it's going to snap. And here he is prancing through the fields and the flowers. Homelander can dance. Look at that moonwalk action going on. Shimon! There's no thigh swivel. Of course, you can turn. Let's see, can we get all the way around? Oh yeah. He's flexible. Ooh, uh-oh, that didn't. So there's a ball in here. It looks like the leg doesn't turn all the way with it, because when I bring it back around, it doesn't want to go down. So you'd have to play with that ball and get it lined up. And look at that. See, now his leg's kind of stuck up. I gotta play with it until I get it right. That sucks. Oh, NECA, what are you doing? There we go. Okay, so I won't be doing that again. You do get a 360 at that knee socket. And then you get 360 at the bottom of the knee socket, the calf, I guess. I don't know what to make of these. They're killing me. That is some funny looking stuff. I'm sorry, NECA. Forgive me. So I swapped out for that second head. I don't really see the big difference. I think this one's a bit more smug. His eyes are a bit more squinty. The hair is a little bit different. You don't have these two pieces there. But, I mean, I don't know if this was worth a whole different head sculpt. It's not different enough. I mean, give us a screaming head. Do something different. And then there's the eye shooting one. That actually looks kind of cool on camera, those holes in the eyes. And when he's back a little bit, those holes don't even look like holes. They just look like eyes. But you can't see it on the camera because the light's reflecting in there. Phew! Man, I wish he had like an open screaming mouth. That looks so much better. He just looks way too calm. Because the eye effects are pretty cool. I wish they were translucent though. But he looks way too calm. Like, can just shoot some blasts here. Alright, there he is next to Mezco Thanos. Who do you think would win? There he is next to the Select Sam Wilson cap. There he is next to the McFarlane original bats. And then when Mark III comes to play, Deluxe Mandarin Spawn, King the Conqueror. Alright, so my thoughts on this guy. Depends on your budget. I would recommend waiting till the import versions come out and see if they knock it out of the park. Like I said, I can't remember if it's Mayfex or Mezco, but it's one of those companies. And if they knock it out of the park and you can afford it, if it's in your budget, I would say wait for that version. But if you're not into import figures, you're not into paying that much for a figure, I think he's just fine. He's gonna look fantastic on the shelf. Soft good capes, colors pop, everything's nice from a distance. But if you're looking to do a lot of close-up photography, or if you got an Instagram page and you're into toy photography, posting and such, I would hold off and wait because I don't think he's good enough to do close-ups on. So is he worth 30 bucks? It depends. Like I said, if you're not into import figures, yeah. Is he bad? By all means, no. So if you just want a Homelander figure to put on the shelf and you're not trying to spend more than 30 bucks, go ahead and grab him. If not, if you can, I'd recommend waiting. Alright, geeks, sign off in the comments. Let me know what you think. Am I being too harsh on this figure? Or do you agree with what I'm saying? Let me know. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And tell me if you were able to find this guy, because I know he's been hard to find. Till next time, Wonky Need Homelander out.